Right now, we're going to hear from some young Black doctors about their experiences navigating race and bias in the system. Take a look at this.
Hi, Carlos. My name is Dr. Russell Uday.
Hi, Carlos. It's Dr. Mulian here.
I'm Dr. Macy Hardley, and I'm an OBGYN resident in New York City. I got into medicine because I wanted to provide the type of comprehensive care that Black people don't get in the medical system in this country.
I grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I had this idea that me and some of my Black classmates could get together in all Black and in our white coats, and we could go to the Whitney Plantation in Edgar, Louisiana. So we took those photos, and they went absolutely viral. So we formed a company where our sole purpose was to raise enough money to help minorities apply to medical school, because we need more Black doctors.
I believe every patient needs to feel as if we can understand where they're coming from and hope to alleviate their problems.
My biggest role model, Dr. Mae Jemison, first Black woman in space, was also a doctor, so it just wasn't that unusual to me. I really think that the way to help increase the number of Black doctors is for other people to also have role models that show them that this is a space where they belong.
It is important to have more Black doctors to be representative of our nation, to be representative of our patients, and to give everyone a chance to be heard.
During this edition of Real Talk, Real Change, we've been uncovering issues surrounding racism and bias in the medical communities of this country. Now, while the concerns are extensive, many of our thought leaders and experts have been examining the problems at large and identifying and crafting real solutions. One such solution is as obvious as it sounds. We need more Black doctors. Take a look at this. If you are Black in America, having a doctor who looks like you could mean the difference between life and death.
Medical professionals are to Black women what police are to Black men.
But where are all the Black doctors?
Some patients will specifically say, I want an African-American specialist.
In the U.S., African Americans make up only about 5% of practicing physicians, and that number drops to 2% for Black women.
And COVID was the incredible disparity that this virus was having on the Black community and on all communities of color, but on the Black community in particular. We were able to see that and highlight it because Dr. Janae Caldoun, who's my chief medical executive, is a Black woman who also is an ER doc.
Studies show that race can indirectly influence the treatment a patient is given due to healthcare inequities and biases that are plaguing the system. But experts say that more Black doctors with cultural competency can be a major part of the solution. If the diagnosis is the need for Black doctors, how do we fill that prescription? Joining me now is an ally in the fight for more diversity in the medical field. He's developed a program to help educate and empower future doctors from underrepresented communities. Please welcome Dr. Mehmet Oz. Dr. Oz, what would you love to see happen over the next year, 2, 3 that would actually make a real difference?
Cultural differences amongst people, they show up in different ways. One of the most obvious ways is I don't really hear what you're trying to tell me. Or what I'm trying to tell you, you don't really hear because I didn't say it in a way you could hear it. And so that leads to the kinds of atrocious statistics that surround the care of Black people in America. And I actually started wrestling this topic down a little bit, just getting comfortable with the numbers. And I kept thinking, well, okay, I know that Black babies don't live as often as white babies, which is horrible to even acknowledge, but it's just true. What I didn't know that's even worse is that Black babies getting cared for by Black doctors do a lot better than when they have white doctors. And you think to yourself, well, I don't think the white pediatricians, they don't want to hurt those little beautiful gems of life, whatever color they are. So obviously there's something deeper than this. And so within medicine, we've allowed issues to percolate for too long. And we had a great opportunity now to awaken people. We can awaken a group of people who really want to care about this issue.
So talk to me about what change you think would make a difference here, Dr. Oz, because it is heartbreaking.
I think the best way to fix some of the deep cultural blocks that are occurring in American medicine is to have more Black healthcare providers, especially Black doctors. So we started a program called #MoreBlackDoctors. This campaign is designed primarily at high school kids, who I have a big access to because I've got a kids foundation called Health Corps. We raised $100 million for Health Corps. We teach primarily kids in underserved areas about health, but now I want to teach them to go into health. And we're doing that with a lot of Black doctors who never got mentoring, and no one ever told them that there were opportunities by having more Black doctors in mentorship positions all of a sudden, all these high school kids start to reimagine their future and the possibility of becoming a doctor.
Dr. Oz, thank you for joining the show and bringing some real solutions to the table. Very much appreciated.
Carlos, congratulations on all your success. I wish you the best and keep talking openly. Ask the questions that need to be answered. God bless.
All right, as we continue the conversation about the need for more Black doctors, I want to welcome two very special guests, Dr. James Hildreth and Dr. Alpha Stewart. Dr. Stewart, talk to me a little bit about this need for more Black doctors, because, I thought to myself we were in progressive Bay Area, California. I thought I was finding my mom a terrific doctor. And now I look back on it and I think about how unaware I was, how naive I was, how hopeful I was. Is there a meaningful difference, do you think, for lots of families when it comes to getting a doctor of color versus not having a doctor of color?
I think for many people of color, particularly Black people, there is a significant importance attached to having a doctor who looks like you, is the way it's described. There is the reality that perhaps in a situation like yours, someone who was maybe more culturally in tune, more understanding of how an older Black woman might communicate her challenges and signs and symptoms, perhaps someone with a better understanding culturally might have come to a different conclusion.
Part of the question about change is almost always going to involve a coalition of some sort. What do you hear and how do you think about engaging more of your non-Black colleagues and peers in this question of dramatically increasing the number of Black doctors and medical professionals?
I just wonder whether or not it would be in the best interest of the country for the country to pay for the training of some of the physicians that we need, to take away that financial element of this.
That's interesting, Dr. You're basically calling for something of a GI Bill. So kind of a bold opportunity. I really like that. That would be quite a signal by the country to do that, and relatively inexpensive given all the other things that we are spending money on. I do hope that we can get to a place where more people can live rich and energetic lives, and I appreciate both of you for the contributions that you're making. My heartfelt thanks to all of our guests who joined the conversation today, and to all of you for tuning in. This is only the beginning. In order to reset America, we've got to reset America's healthcare system. It'll take all of us working together to turn this crisis around, but I remain confident, even optimistic, that brick by brick, we can rebuild this country, we can reset America. Step up and be a powerful health advocate for someone you love. Make sure their voice is heard and fight for them, especially when they can't fight for themselves. Take it from me, it's a lesson you don't want to learn too late. The time is now. Together, let's create a future where medical racism is a thing of the past and not the thing that continues to make us sick. Thank you to all of my guests and all of my good friends at Chevrolet, and to all of you for listening and sharing your stories. Be sure to go to OZY.com/Real Talk to be a part of the conversation. Thanks for watching Real Talk, Real Change.